If you're a skinny guy and you want to gain weight, then this video is for you. But why should you take my advice? I've been there. As a skinny guy, I know exactly how hard it is to gain weight because you've got no appetite and a high metabolism. But in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the exact blueprint that I followed to gain weight. These are the exact steps that I followed to gain 25 kilos and completely transform my physique. I also help guys do exactly this one-to-one. If you want to work with me, click the top link in the description. The first thing that we want to prioritize to gain weight is prioritizing calorie-dense food. A lot of guys, when they start out in the gym, are eating like bodybuilders. They're eating chicken, rice, broccoli, things like that. The problem with this is, although the food is nutritious and good for you, it's low in calorie. You're gonna have to eat so much of this food. You're probably gonna have to eat chicken, rice, and broccoli 6 to 8 times a day to gain weight. As a skinny guy, you don't have the appetite to do that. When eating like this, you feel like you're eating a lot of food because the volume of food is so high, but you're actually not consuming as many calories as you think. We want to consume calorie-dense foods. We don't just want to eat clean or just eat junk. We want to be in that middle area. As a skinny guy, if you're eating a little bit of junk food to hit your calories, it's not the end of the world. For example, when I was bulking up, in the morning, I might have Greek yogurt, fruit with some honey, which is great, that's nutritious, low in calorie, high in protein, that is ideal. For lunch, I might have a pizza, which might sound like not the best thing to do, but in reality, it's not the end of the world. I need the calories. For dinner, I might have salmon, rice, and in the evening, I'll have a protein shake. In between all of this, I'll have little snacks, things like squares bars, fruit, nuts. Of course, we want to eat as clean as possible to limit the amount of fat we're going to gain. But as a skinny guy, you don't have the appetite, you have a fast metabolism. So focusing on calorie-dense foods like pasta, fish, nuts, things like that is really gonna help you bulk up. If you're a really skinny guy, eating things like this is gonna help you build your frame. You're naturally going to stay leaner because you don't store as much fat. So don't stress too much about eating clean chicken, rice, and broccoli 6 times a day. Instead, just ensure you're eating as much food as possible. And if you have to eat a little bit of junk to get there, as I said, it's not the end of the world. As a skinny guy with no appetite, one of the things that really helped me bulk up on my journey was liquid calories. Things like mass gainer shakes and whey protein were great helping me get my calories in and also my protein. It's a lot easier to drink 1,000 calories than eat 1,000 calories. And this is one of the things that really helped me on my journey. I can make a shake and within 2 minutes, I've drunk 1,000 calories. If I was to eat a 1,000 calorie meal and I'm not hungry, I probably won't finish it and I'm probably not gonna hit my calorie goal. So liquid calories are an absolute cheat code if you're a skinny guy trying to bulk up. Now we've discussed a little bit about nutrition. It's working out how to train. I want you to ignore everything you've heard online. There's too much information, too many training splits, and it's overwhelming. Instead, you're going to train push, pull legs, rest, push, pull legs. This is the only split that you will need to build a well-rounded physique and bulk up. This is the exact split that I used to gain 25 kilos. I stuck to it and it works. This is because we're training each muscle group 2 to 3 times a week, which is optimum for building muscle. We're targeting every area of our body 2 to 3 times a week, which is absolutely ideal. When we're training, we want to focus on compound and isolation movements. We don't just want to do just compounds or just isolations. For example, if I'm training legs, I don't want to just do things like a leg extension. I want to do squats and a leg extension. This is exactly what we need to build as much muscle as possible. Don't just focus on the exercises that are easy. You need to push yourself hard. Things like squats, no one wants to do, but they're great for building your legs. We also want to make sure we're progressive overloading and training as close to failure as possible. If you don't know what progressive overload is, all it is increasing the reps or the weight of your sets over time. This gives our body stimulus to react to. If we're going in the gym and we're lifting the same weight over and over again, our body is not going to grow. I used to go to the gym and lift the same weights every single time, and this got me nowhere. Instead, you want to increase the weight slowly over time. If you see those 2.5 and the 1.5 kilo plates in the gym and you've never used them, now is the time to start. This is the exact system that I used to gain 15 kilos in 10 months. I took my bench press from 1 rep of 100 to 8 reps of 100 within 10 months using this. And when we are training, I would recommend doing 3 sets per exercise. The first set being 12 reps, the second set being 8 reps, and the third set being 10 reps. And on every single set, we want to push ourselves as hard as we can and train as close to failure as possible. The most important factor in gaining size and gaining weight is being in a calorie surplus. What this means is that you're eating more calories than you're burning, allowing your body to build mass, get stronger, and overall get bigger. We want to use an app to track all of our food every single day. From the minute you wake up to the minute you sleep, you're tracking every single bit of food. If you track for one day, you will realize you're not eating as much food as you think you are. So it's really important that we track our food to ensure we're hitting our calorie target. The most important part of being in a calorie surplus is consistency. We want to make sure we're hitting our calories every single day. We can't just hit the calories 5 days a week and on the weekend not eat them. You need to ensure you're doing it every single day and hitting that calorie goal. Otherwise, you're not going to gain weight. It's going to cost you years in the gym. And that is one thing that I found out the hard way. These were the exact steps that I used to gain 15 kilos in 10 months. That's 1.5 kilos every single month. That is pretty much as much muscle and mass as you can gain without putting on too much fat or being really unhealthy. So it works. Trust me, I've been there. I've been the skinny guy. I started at 55 kilos. That's when I started in the gym. Now I'm sitting around 80 kilos. So I've gained 25 kilos pretty much of lean muscle mass using this exact system. Obviously, it takes time. It's not a quick fix, but these are the steps that you need to follow to gain size. We need to make sure we're eating calorie-dense foods, things like fish, pasta, making sure we're using liquid calories if we need to hit our calorie goal. We're training hard in the gym. We're training push-pull legs twice a week to optimize muscle growth, and we're also in a calorie surplus. We need to make sure we're consistent with every single step. I know it's not easy. I've been there myself, but these are the steps that you need to follow to get there. If you need help on your journey, you want to work with me directly, click the top link in the description, book a 30-minute call with me and see how I can help you. On paper, it's really simple, but it's just staying consistent, staying disciplined and doing the right things day in, day out. Hopefully this video has inspired you. Hopefully it showed you that you no longer have to be the skinny guy and that you can make a change. As I said, if you need any help, click the top link in the description. If you found this video helpful, click the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments how you found it, and I'll see you in my next video.